I was always interested in textures, and when I went to the Highland Park, first thing I noticed was beautiful textures and colors of the biodiversity in that park. After I collected a few leaves, pieces of wood, stones, glass, and so on from that park, I decided to carefully study the textures of it by touching it and observing it. As you can see on my photos, there are some textures that I took photo of, which were my major inspiration for my work. As a part of a final piece and a part of my experiment, I made 8 paintings, which duplicate the textures of the plants and stones I studied. In this project, I was exploring acrylics and media, which is mixable with acrylics to make these textures. I decided to create 8 works as it would create a variety of textures, which was really important for me, as my research was about that. The colors I used were also inspired by the biological objects in the park, as I said before. And for these colors, to make these colors, I used blue, I used red, white, beige, black, and dark green. Here is an outcome of my experiment. As you can see, this is a stone and it has a very veiny and rough material texture, as well as a various of colors which include dark green, gray, black, brown, and sand color. My other work was made with the wood sticks, and I covered it with a special acrylics mixed with hard texture medium, which made this texture very unique and specific, though the photo is not final as I've been working on the texture more, as you can see on my real work. Another one of my favorite textures was a texture of wood, again, but not as sticks. It was more spongy and pointy. For the colors of this experiment, I used white, dark bluish green, sand color, and color of graphite. The next work I've done was with the plant that I collected from the park. For this work, I decided to use the colors of beige, sand, ivory, and cover them up with a more darker colors, which was really unusual for the style I've been working on, as all my other works are made other way around, starting with the darker colors and then layering them up with the warmer and less dark colors. One of the other really important materials I would talk about is the glass that I found on the floor in the park, which I have no idea where it came from. As it was impossible for me to try to replicate the texture with the media I had, I decided to use it as a part of my work without covering it in paint. The outcome was amazing. It became one of my favorite works, and it looks really like a crystal. And as I found a few crystals in the park, I think that this work would fit very well with another biodiversity works I made. One of my least favorite textures was the texture of the tree, which I made without using any other objects except paint. It took it quite a lot of time to dry, as well as it was really hard to applying another layers of colors on it, as the other layers would simply disappear. I think studying textures as my experiment was a very great idea for me, as I developed a lot of new skills of painting, as well as I got a better knowledge at what is textures and how to use acrylics and media.